Hey everybody, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Squadra tier list, and this video is a second run around. You're not going to see the original one because the original one had to be scrapped basically because certain events unfolded that made me reconsider the entire breakdown of this tier list. So I don't want to go on for too long and repeat things that most people know. So I'm just going to try to go as quickly and concisely as possible. Of course, we have Ben, we got George here as well. Maybe Explodes might chip in something here or another, but we have probably the most experience next to Red Max on what these characters do now in the current season 3 meta. And the reason why we're doing the second run around is that in the original one, we kind of dismissed a lot of these characters because we'd hardly bumped into them. And then shortly after that list was recorded, we just started bumping into every character known to man. And we have to give them props for them being extremely viable even to this day. So this is being recorded about a good week and a half after Kefla's release, which gives us a good gauge about how good or not good she is compared to the rest. And there's pretty much your look at what we got here. So as the prior list, we have everybody now updated with the 3 new characters in the form of Kefla, Vegito, and Bardock. So let's get started with the first character. That first character is Super Saiyan Goku here. Oh yeah, by the way, S rank, AD rank, nothing really much to say on there. It kind of goes without saying. Top is the most broken and toxic, and the very bottom is just flat out trash. So yeah, let's go on from there.
But I am surprised you didn't add annoying tier at top.
Well, annoying tier would be S rank. S ranks will probably just be the most annoying meta units in the game that are just like every time you see them load up, you're like, we're not gonna have a good time. Well, we'll get to that guy in a second. No worries. Anyway, so we got over here Super Saiyan Goku. I would say he's aged fairly well. Spirit Bomb is still a very good boss confirmed kill, though you got characters like Jackie Chun, we've seen on more than one occasion where he drops a Spirit Bomb and Jackie Chun just gets out right before it kills him. So if they keep adding bosses like that, where they're more mobile and they're not stationary, that might hurt Goku's viability as a guaranteed boss killer. But overall, does good damage. Boss kill confirms. That's all I really guess. I would say he's probably mid, just because there's so many other characters with better options. George, you wanted to say something?
I was gonna say that I'm good. I was gonna say if the Goku is level up to 11, then his Spirit Bomb will guarantee hit. I was gonna say that, but yeah, overall, his Spirit Bomb is not his Spirit Bomb can be useful, but at the same time, it's gonna lose a lot of proper abilities.
Yeah, and so Goku, he doesn't really have anything specifically bad about him, and so that's why I put him in like mid tier for that. Which gets us to our next guy. Oh, Doggy, you got Doggy in the background. We got
sorry,
over here.
I am so sorry. I will deal with that. I will deal with this right now.
We got Vegeta over here. Good tank. Obviously, because he's a tank, there are many situations if you build him up properly, he just will not die. I think the biggest thing that keeps him fairly common in multiplayer settings is that Gallic blast that sucks people in. It is such an annoying tool that gets people set up for a follow-up attack from allies. Not to
mention a good guarantee getting more XP from the Cell Juniors and from all enemies.
Yeah, it's a very good pull tool, especially when you got someone running away and your tower just reactivates. You suck them in and they get killed. It's very situational, but I think that's like his best move. I mean, I've seen the barrage attack, and I've seen does he have Big Bang attack as his ultimate? I don't really see his ultimate being used that much.
Big Bang is his ultimate. Big Bang is actually his ultimate.
Yeah, I don't see his ultimate being used that much. I always just see the Gallic Blazer. I think that's what's called, the Gallic Blazer or something. It's a Gallic in the name, but in terms of his usefulness, I would say probably like overall, he is just slightly better than Goku. I think just because he could tank and he's also doing things that affect the enemy team, but there are just better options, I'd say, in terms of the tank department. Then we got his. Oh, good.
I was gonna say not to mention the little burst thing he has that pushes everyone away, but also gets him a better little health.
Yeah, forgot about that.
That thing does help him surviving a lot.
A bit more long range sometimes.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this right now. One of his weakest skills is actually his first one. The key barrage. It's actually kind of his weakest skill.
All right, so we got our next character here. It is Krillin. This guy, in the hands of a very good Krillin player, can be extremely, extremely annoying. And in terms of, I'm gonna just say it right now. This guy, for now, is gonna be firmly an A tier because he is a very, very tricky unit to deal with. Where you got the landmines, you got the solar flare, you got the destructo disc, which could hit like a truck when people have the full red setup with this guy. He is fast. It's hard to punish him in the hands of a good player when they have all their tricks up their sleeves. They just constantly hit you with solar flare, and you just don't know what to do.
Not to mention, it's fast as hell. Like, god dang, even though they don't have the long card, they were fast as hell.
Yeah. This guy is there to I want to say primarily make you lose all form of control in the battlefield and let other people pick you off. That is the biggest strength that this Krillin has, is blind you, has a DPS kill you. And there's no way for you to fight back because you can't see. You're floating around, and a lot of times when this guy is hunting you, you're not next to a base. Yeah, you're not able to defend yourself. So you're going to get whittled down and just get gangbanged. So it's a sad reality of things, but this Krillin is our first A tier for a reason, just because how very, very troublesome he could be when he starts popping off all of his skills. And of course, you can upgrade them for better range, and that's just going to make him even more viable. All right, for our next one, we got Trunks. Now, Trunks is a little bit of an interesting guy. I've seen since we did our first video, this guy along with his fighting and then against him. He can be good sometimes. The biggest problem I see with this guy is that he's a 1v1 ultimate guy. And in a game where you want to make the most of your ultimates by killing multiple people with it, this guy is not that good in the, like, I want to say, like, 1v more than one kind of situation. He can crack and be broken down. He has some pretty good supers, I think, and the fact that he has that overcharge mechanic, which allows him to get his supers back quickly, is cool. But I would say, comparatively speaking to everybody else that's higher up on the list, they just have better tools to either outzone him, or they just do more damage inherently. And I don't know. I don't think he's awful. I just don't think he's amazingly good to be an A tier. So without really rocking the boat too much, you guys agree maybe he might be like probably either between Goku and Vegeta, or just at the end of B tier right now as mid?
I think he's below Goku, because unlike Goku, he does have movesets that can help him in battle. On Trunks, he has limited when he's being surrounded. If you surround a Trunks, that Trunks will not survive by himself. He is a 1v1, but with other players around him, he's just not gonna help him that much.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate too. We've had a couple of matches with Trunks, but then after that, we just stopped seeing this guy. He's well, again, I don't think he's awful, like below mid, but just he has a lot of things going against him that just make him not as good as Goku and Vegeta. Then we got Jake right here. Piccolo. This guy, they nerfed him at the beginning of the season. You got to remember that was the biggest change that we all had an eyebrow raised. Is that the amazing one-shot special beam cannon was nerfed to no longer be a one-shot ability. It still does a lot of damage, mind you, but it doesn't guarantee kills like it used to if it touches the person at any given time.
Not to mention, we can all agree there is certain bugs that happen in the battle. For example, we saw how many times Jake was trying to hit everybody, but for some reason, it just looked like it went past through rather than getting hit.
Yeah, I don't understand. They probably just made the hitbox smaller, and that was just an unfortunate result of what you see compared to what is actually being like shot out as a hitbox. Which again, really, really bad. It's unfortunate. because that is Piccolo's best defining move. Like he has the Hell Zone mines and all that stuff, but those can be zigzagged around fairly easy. Like I would say Krillin's landmines are way better than Piccolo's, and you could actually produce more of those with Piccolo. Piccolo does have another kill move, which is that Hell Zone grenade. The Hell Zone grenade that does way more damage than it implies with the little hitbox that you see coming towards you, and can actually kill you.
I'm pretty sure they only buffed the Hell Zone grenade rather than like nerfed it. I'm pretty sure they only buffed it.
I will say that Piccolo, if you look at not accounting the whole trick of using special beam through the top or bottom section, because that is a viable strat for some people where they just hide Piccolo on the bottom and pan the camera so that way they could one-shot the boss without being in the battlefield. By the way, have you had any use for that at all in any PvP situation? Have you seen anybody in high tier actually getting away with that?
No.
No.
The only thing people that we keep doing is just being close to the boss and just hit it.
Yeah.
Rather than top.
I will say for Piccolo, he unfortunately because of the nerf, he would be here if it wasn't for the nerf. But I think for the nerf, it puts him at the top of B tier as mid, only because his single definingly best move was nerfed so badly that you cannot guarantee it will kill people unless they're at least at 80% health. So you'll hit somebody at full meter and they won't die. And in bosses who used to be one shot by this guy can tank it. So it's very sad after having that entire build-up animation and then possibly dying as a result, only just to find out you left them with 10% health. And you're like, damn it! And then there you go, you're dead.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Also, I'm back.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
So,
not to mention,
go ahead.
I feel like they also buff. I'm gonna say this right now. It feels like they also buff Piccolo's other skill, his Namekian finger
I remember that. I remember we had a match where our ally was just abusing the heck out of the stretchy arms and was able just to get in and out quickly.
It was the enemy. It was the enemy.
It was the enemy. Okay. Yeah, that was such a clutch thing for him to do. It's just yoink and he's out. Like it did not matter where. And
even with the good cards and these instant transmissions, he was escaping very fast.
Yeah.
Like just 1 second he's there, then after he's gone. Like we're all like, what the hell did he win?
Just because of that, we'll put him at the end of A tier because that's some really good mobility that this guy has shown us in PvP. I actually forgot about that. Yeah, it's true. The stretchy arms in the hands of a really good player keeps him essentially having a really good escape rope from a bad situation. You pair that up with like special beam cannon, and you just like yoink, boom. So
I think that the last time you made this list, you thought that was useless.
I thought that was useless. It was until that was recorded before that. Yeah, that was recorded before we saw that. I was like, oh yeah, that actually is pretty darn good.
Not to mention, I'm gonna say this right now. That Piccolo that we're fighting, he was dealing a lot of damage. I'm talking way damage that even my green cards were being useless, like with me.
Yeah. Yeah, that team kept him alive. That Piccolo never died in that match against us. So it goes to show, it goes to show that he can be very, very jacked. But I don't think he's completely broken. But I think in terms of like ranking wise, he's probably like the bottom of A tier. Now here's a character that got a massive glow up from last time. Last time we put this character very low on the tier list because she was essentially a paper tiger. And we all know,
tiger, but she still hit hard. She still hit hard, but she cannot.
Now, thanks to a balance change, she now has enough health to actually stand a chance against people and do insane amounts of damage back to them. So that way, she could end up surviving an encounter against possibly 2 people and come out on top. Meaning because a lot of her moves get close in, and a lot of the other units that are, you got like units that shoot a whole bunch of beams that need some spacing. She just closes the gap, and boom, she now is going to kill you. And there's nowhere you can escape from. She's fairly fast. She has a projectile ultimate, which again, very, very powerful. and well, not ultimate. It's a projectile attack because her ultimate is the Heartbreaker, which to my knowledge, I don't know if it is better or worse than Piccolo's special beam in terms of boss killing. It is a boss secure, but I'm not sure if it's stronger than that.
I try to remember how the heck I can insta-kill people with that. I did try her once, and the amount of times I keep getting people off guard and just end them really quickly.
And it's a quick one. It's a quick ult,
but
so you could take people by surprise that way. That's the beauty about her ult.
Yeah, but there's also the other part of it that for some reason, even though you land on it, it doesn't like kill them. Like something was like preventing your character not to do insta kills. There are certain matches that 18 does insta kill, but for some reason, some of them does not insta kill them.
And for that reason alone, I would say 18 the best place for me would be at this point in the tier list. I think she is a really good DPS option. She's actually viable without being a detriment to your team. And she is strong. She has enough health to keep her in the game long, and she has a lot of good tools in her kit that they keep her either zoning or keep her on the offensive up close and personal. It's a very good. She's a very good character now. I think last time she was either a C or D in season 2, and the fact that she's now an A really shows just how much more viable she is. All right, Majin Buu. Now this is a highly contested character sometimes in terms of if it's good, if it's not, but we're gonna assume it's being played in the hands of a really good person. Buu can single-handedly, with a good team set up, yeah. Buu can single-handedly can go from an inconsequential ally to the most annoying ally on the enemy team, period. You put him next to any top-tier unit, and he's there just to keep on juicing them up with health. He will end up just being unkillable. He will make that person unkillable, and you will have to be in a situation. Yeah, Bardock. Yeah. Oh, Bardock. Don't get me started with that, man. Buu can just essentially. Oh yeah, Buu can essentially just to go ahead and make your enemy unkillable, and then you're put in a spot where you're like, do I kill the Buu or do I kill the tank in front of me? You try going for the Buu, the tank gets in the way. You try going for the tank, well, the Boo's just gonna heal him. What do? You're kind of at a stalemate, or you're just like, screw it, I'm being distracted. Oh, look at that, the boss was killed by the enemy team. Screw you, Buu.
Fine, pick a lion in.
So,
yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. So I would say in terms of support, I would say he's in the hands of a good person. Buu is far better than Krillin, just because of that healing. He's gonna constantly be buddied up with your ally, and that's his main role. And of course, there's the candy beam, which, if you've seen our video, or when that video does come out, you'll see just how devastating a highly level Buu is. Hitting everybody in one shot and turning them into hot fudge sundaes, only to be cleaned up by DPS. That is very nuts. That is very nuts.
You can still remember what happened in that match. You can still remember that.
Yeah, we had a scenario where the exact same thing happened. Yeah.
It's a good skill for like stopping people using their ults on the bosses. That's the thing about it. That ult immediately stops the enemies using their ult or their attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Buu just can eat them and become like the feed Goku, just being hit by the special beam cannon. This time he can survive.
So you put him next to a broken character in S tier, and he essentially just becomes their cheat code to stay alive and be reckless, because this guy will just heal everything off. And because we're in a meta where everything is just now full green cards or red cards, you have him next to somebody with full-on greens. It just makes his job easier, because they're going to take almost no damage, and any damage they do get, it's not damage. So that's essentially where I put Buu at. Obviously, bad players of Buu, they're always going to be by themselves and get picked off, but you have to play Buu with somebody with you at all times, and if you're with the broken character, you're going to win. All right, next up, we got Kid Gohan. And Kid Gohan is very interesting, as in I did not think very much about him, but after that tier list we originally made, this guy started popping up everywhere. And he is low-key really darn good. George, you gotta remember about that, man. Your door squeak, man. Every video we make, you do that. Anyway, Kid Gohan. Kid Gohan over here, he is one of those characters that if he's around another character, they get stronger just because they're in his zone. And plus, he's also doing insane damage as a support character with his little tantrum pursuing ability.
His headbutt.
His headbutt, yeah, his little headbutt attack. I wouldn't say he is the worst support character, like like in terms of toxicity. But he's somebody you have to watch out for. But once you deal with him, and you start snowballing out of control, this guy will not be that much of a problem. I would say he's probably at the top of mid. I would say in terms of like a support. These two are clearly better, in my opinion. Krillin and Boo, just in terms of what their supports do, they are doing utility stuff that can largely put your team in the positives. This guy, he does damage, but if he dies, it's kind of hard to explain on that end. He's not doing anything that's remotely hacksy worthy. He's just adding damage values, and that's good. Yeah. But these guys do their job better. I think they do better.
He's specifically things. A DPS support to actually fight with you. He's not trying to play the field. He's not trying to stall for anything. He's literally there with you because he has to be close. And then he just deals damage. It's deal damage and support. He's not built like a tank. He's not really meant to be the first one to lead.
Well said. Yeah.
Although he can go fast.
Indeed.
He's a DPS disguised as a technician.
Yeah, he does.
A mini DPS, yeah. Then we got ourselves Bojack here. Bojack is, I want to say he probably got power creeped a bit. Oh, what's up?
I'm gonna say this right now. I've seen a lot, and I'm talking a lot of bad Bojack players. Like, seriously, I keep seeing bad Bojack players. Remember that time that we were fighting one Bojack player? He was having so much trouble. Even trying to doing the Bosca farm kill, he was having trouble.
His ultimate is now a joke.
Yeah. Every new character that has an ultimate is no longer stationary. They're able to have some type of mobility.
Yeah. Or just flat out cancel his.
Yeah. There was a scenario where I
just literally dodged right behind him. Meanwhile, he fires and he can just get off hits because he can't move and he has to go through his ultimate. So, quite literally, if he's not in a corner, if he's not behind a barrier, then he's himself wide open.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Not enough distance.
And he can still be killed from that. I had a scenario where I played as Kale, and he threw down his ultimate. It gave me enough time to react to it because there's still some level of build up for it to land. And I set up the combination attack and killed him. So it's funny how that works.
Honestly, he could be better. And I imagine a way they could be better is if his ultimate beam actually did reverse. So it was a single beam and then it went out into 5. That way, if the person tries to escape, well, you're going to get more beam in your face. Instead of the other way around. It's like, oh, but it concentrates the blast. It's like, well, yeah, but then people can just dodge out of the way. It kind of already has a major flaw in it. All you have to do is dodge to one side or the other.
That's not going to help much because then they could just go around the single beam.
Exactly. I think if it was single beam turning into 5, then it takes more time to dodge out of the way. Unless you actually have your dodge or your
but doing that would still leave a long time with the single beam because it takes a while for it to change.
Yeah.
If it goes down to a wider spread, it makes more sense. Just because it goes from a wide spread to a single beam, that's fine.
Yeah, but by the time they start doing that, they're already behind you. I'm saying.
I think the only way to actually fix Bojack, if they really want to keep him from just having his ultimate being completely retooled, is have you have the ability to cancel your ultimate at any time. That would probably be the only way they could fix him.
Or just cancel him while the others do the beam.
Yeah. And the beam is less powerful because of it, but it would still go off. Yeah, that would be a thing that could happen.
And maybe depending on the level of the beam is at, more people would be a part of it. So therefore, at max level, all 5 are there.
Yeah. That would probably be the only way I could think that the devs can actually affect that. But and his other moves, that like his little trap, his slow trap, can easily become circumvented. You're running away. Yeah, that will slow you down a bit. But there are characters with so many mobility options that they could just brute force their way out of it, and it's not that hard to get out of it. And what's his other ability? What's the other stuff that Bojack has? Those are the only ones I can think of.
Oh, that mine thing.
The super beam. Basically, his RB, his whoop, whoop, but also his diet landmines. They don't even do anything. They're just
So for that, I'm gonna put Bojack in low tier, right below mid. They need to fix this guy if they want him to be scary good. Of course, anybody in this tier list can be extremely good if their team can carry them and cover the weakness of it. But we're looking at this from a singular character point of view, and if you're bringing one Bojack to a party full of S tier characters, you're most likely going to lose because their options just way outclass this guy. So that's just a frame of reference.
I mean, you as
there.
a player, not you as a team necessarily.
Well, what you got? It's like you enter a match, you bring a katana, you bring a bunch of blades, and then you fight against a bunch of people with guns. Who's gonna end up winning? You could probably kill one or two, maybe if you're lucky, with your swords, but more often than not, you're gonna get shot before you can approach. That's the point I'm trying to make here. It is possible to kill, but it's gonna be very, very difficult. All right, we got Daimagoku. Daimagoku is I want to say he's a DPS trapper character. I know he loves throwing the landmines, and they can be doing a lot of damage to the point where you're like, no, I was about to chase him.
He also has a long-ranged basic attack.
Oh, yeah. That makes you feel angry.
On the one hand, Clever used to use the power pole as part of the lore in this game, but darn if you can't get closer. If you're a specifically physically attacked like DPS, it's like, okay, you get closer, but he's already hitting you by that point. He's already gotten 3 hits on you before you get close.
But he's not used much for a reason.
Yeah, they're just better DPS options with kits. I would say, this is a character I saw maybe a couple times after our original tier list that we recorded. I would say he kind of goes in E tier at the very bottom below Piccolo. He has good things, but I think Piccolo is just edges him out better. Edges out like in terms of viability, just because that special beam and he has better evasion tools. Once you catch Kid Goku by himself, there's not really much he could do to get out. And I would say, yeah, he has the annoying power pull, but none of his other attacks are like one-shot material. I don't think I've ever been like one shot from 100 health to 0 health from this guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it always seems like he's a character that does better when he's with a group.
He needs a buddy.
Yeah, he needs a buddy. You know who doesn't need a buddy?
Like a small child.
You know who doesn't need a buddy? It's this bad boy, Zamasu. I don't think my opinion's really going to change.
You know who else doesn't need a buddy?
No.
My mom.
My mom.
We need to make it. It's like, okay, let's just get this out of the way. Most toxic sort of team up you can go up against. I imagine it has Zamasu, Hit, Bardock, and I don't know, Topo, I guess.
You wouldn't be able to have Zamasu and Bardock in the same team because they are both the tanks. You can only have one tank.
Okay, so Topo, Zamasu, Hit. Who would be most annoying with Hit? I guess Broly.
No, Go Tanks, because he'll just spam over here, over here. No, that would be annoying for the team, not the enemy.
It would be Hit, Zamasu, Broly, and possibly Vegito or Kale. Those are probably like the most annoying group up stuff, and we'll get to that when we get to that. But that's kind of a good glimpse of where we're at. Zamasu, we've had George. We have experience fighting Zamasu, a 2v1 scenario where you're trying to kill Zamasu and he just resurrects with full on health.
Even if he doesn't kill you, he will get away.
Yeah, and it is extremely annoying.
Snail.
There is a character that can counter him, but at the same time, this character is not doing good in the meta, which is, there's a character I'm looking at right now right next to the other character, but still.
Okay, but we're on Zamasu right now.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying that this character can be countered, but it's gonna be hard to him that Zamasu, because that freaking passive that he has. My God, the amount of times that Mark and I try to end Zamasu, he just like, try it again. I'm still alive.
It helps that his ultimate also has slowdown effect on the range, which can get really big, and it's a better effect than Bojack's. It's a better effect than Bojack's.
Not to mention, this thing is much better for slowing us down if we're trying to get back to our base.
Good keep away.
It has a small push effect, so does Baby's, but like, Baby's just bad.
Yeah, this guy as a tank, possibly for right now, is probably the most toxic when it comes to what he does. There is just every scenario to try killing him. You're going to spend more time being distracted attacking him than you are actually making progress by getting kills. You do not want to be trying to get snowballs off this guy. He's just, even if you outrank a Zamasu player by like a couple levels, he will still take forever to kill because of that resurrection ability. That is just how potent he is. I have to put him on S tier just because it is very viable just to have this guy take every hit conceivable, and then Boo will be by his side and be like, well, you can't trigger you didn't trigger his res ability yet because Boo is healing him. So it's like there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Zamasu benefits from being in a team, but if he's by himself, he can still kill you. And he can still get away. That is the harshest thing to deal with when fighting against a good Zamasu player. The worst part is that
Zamasu just laugh at you for trying to killing him.
Yeah. You get the slap in the face. You get the emotional damage that comes along with it. So Zamasu goes on the top of my S tier for right now. Then we got Cooler, which Cooler kind of has fallen off. I know he has the planting ability to yoink people into his zone or yoink out of the zone, but in terms of tank, I mean, he has all the good fundamentals that every tank has, which is you could be in a situation where you just don't die, like Vegeta does. But
the problem is he's vanilla.
Yeah, he's the Ryu of tanks in this game, where I don't feel like he's doing anything particularly amazing that will tip him off. I will say he's correct me if I'm wrong, George. I know you played as Cooler a bit. I think Cooler probably is just slightly not as good as Vegeta, just in terms of tank. He does some good damage.
Time, but still pretty low.
Vegeta, but he is better with playing the field because recall from his one of his passive when he's using the AoE effect that he uses. He slows enemies down and also interrupts.
Yeah, but they can still dash or use their mobility.
No, that can also be dealt with the dash or even vanish. That also can be disturbed.
I think what Explode is saying is that if they see the hitbox materialize in front of them, a majority of smart players are going to use their mobility supers to get out of there, so they're not hit by it and they stay away from that zone after it's already landed. It's more of a get away before it lands, not you're already there and you're getting hit with the effects. It's less so, like if you hit somebody with it, cool. It's damaging. I'd argue it's better. It's a better ultimate than Vegeta's, but I don't think it's necessarily like a guaranteed boss killer. It's like a spirit bomb, but not as powerful. I'd say. How powerful is his death ball?
Keeping enemies in place if they don't have a mobility.
It's a good dogpile move, I guess. You'd have Goku's spirit bomb. You had his death ball, and then Topo's. Imagine all three of them popping off their ults at the same time. And Frieza. There you go. Oh, no, wait. Frieza, Cooler, Topo, and Goku. You have all these death balls raining from the sky. I've yet to see that happen in the game. So,
that could be a nightmare.
I say he's mid for right now. I don't think he's awful. I just think there's just clearly better options in there. But that's just me. Okay, let's rip the band-aid off here. Everyone at the beginning of Season 3 was like, this character's trash, his ultimate's terrible, they even buffed him. But guess what? His buff is not even that noticeable. We fought against some matches.
Worst of all, he can be the one deal with characters who's trying to escape. Like, for example, Zamasu with his
unless you actually land that Steven Spear, they are going to dash away.
Yeah, if you land on that thing will make sure your enemy does not escape.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get a stone if you're lucky and actually hit with that, which is hard to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is, most experienced players know that about the Bora matchup, so they're not going to be putting themselves intentionally in that spot. And the thing is, you need to be close. So what happens when you get close to characters that are very, very powerful in the top tiers? You're going to get killed, and then you're not going to get much use out of that. You know, a common thing is, well, Mark, why don't you have the Bora next to a top tier unit? Well, you have other characters that are good when they're next to top tier characters. Yes, but this guy can still die next to one. That's the sad thing about it.
Pretty much there just to leave people who die after he dies with the flame breath.
And
It's hilarious, but you're dead.
it's sad because this guy is Deborah of all people. And I'm gonna say, in terms of just him as a character, I'd have to say he's at the bottom tier. Just in terms of usability, and even with the buffs that they gave him in the season near the end of it, he's still not that great. I don't see any epic plays for this guy. And if this guy gets MVP in a match, it's most likely he was carried. Like, no lie, he was probably carried. It was not because of his own tools. It was just because people know how to play the bread and butter game with him, and they had him stick with an ally. And his ultimate still sucks. His ultimate still sucks. So
Still sucks to this day.
yeah, they gotta just give him a brand new ultimate. Just give him like a massive blast move from his hand, and you
If they
can call
do
it
that, it takes too long to land.
Yeah. All right, we got our narcissist Caulifla over here. She's interesting. I have a lot of experience with her. I'm not going to go through everything I said when I was glazing the character in season 2. What's up?
I have to say this right now. She's barely showing up in this whole game right now. This whole game, she's barely showing, but she's not being
Yes,
like.
but Mark uses her, so we know exactly how good she is.
She can kind of counter people like Kefla, because a lot of Kefla's moves are projectile based, and that barrier that Caulifla has is really good at just nullifying a lot of her kit and damage potential.
It can block any projectile that isn't a laser or Bardock's little push move.
Or a death ball. She could still get hurt by death balls. Funny enough.
Yeah. It blocks 80% of projectiles.
So, like, Caulifla's good, but she is definitely showing her age, just in general. Like, I would say between her and Vegeta, like, putting Vegeta at, like, midways. I would say just in terms of actually killing people, she does a better job at killing people than Vegeta does, because a lot of her moves get herself up close and personal. And when you are using that kick ability, she is able to sustain less damage. And your enemy who gets inflicted with it may not know that it's happening, but you're out damaging them. And then at that point, you have your ally with you. They clean up whatever you can, and then you're regenerating your health when you run away. And then plus, if you have to run away, you have your barrier, which spaces you out from your enemy, and you're also able to get a burst of speed from it, which helps you get away. And then on top of that, not only that, you could use that barrier to space out your ally who is about to die from your enemy. And that has saved people's lives before. I've done that before, where George is about to die. I bring up the barrier and I disrupt whatever damage the enemy was going to do up close and personal, and George gets away. If she dies, it's fine. Like, she this is a character that you got to be used to dying, getting killed off a lot. And especially with the whole Icarus tech, where I could just run to the enemy side with Icarus. It's just cap and still be able to handle 3 people at the same time. She's a really good tank. I would say bottom of A tier, just in terms of tank viability. She has a lot more stuff going on for her than Vegeta does. And I think she has way more potential to kill people than Vegeta does in general. Vegeta has a lot of he has a lot of gimmicks that pull people in for the sake of having an ally finish the job. Caulifla has a lot of gimmicks that she can actually finish the job herself, I would say, because she's lowering the amount of damage people can give her, and there's also she has a lot of defensive things that push people off. That's at least my opinion on that. All right, so we got the Gammas. I don't really have much of an opinion on this one. I know Red loves using these guys. George, can you kind of give us whatever spot you want to put it? I'll agree with it. Go for it.
Now I'll say the Gammas are right between Krillin and Piccolo. The reason why I'm putting them right there, they have the Gamma Core, which is only a one-time thing, but that thing is really helpful when you try and secure the boss or doing a clean what's it called?
A team wipe?
Area.
A team wipe or a boss wipe? Okay.
A team wipe or a
Possibly
boss.
have 2 health bars still.
Yeah, 2 health bars. Not to mention their skills are darn good, especially with the Gamma 1's skill, the one that he does the flying kick. That thing gives him an extra shield to help him endure the attack when the enemy's trying to hurt him. And switch to Gamma 2 to do massive damage. You can do it like 2-3 times, I think. Overall, the Gammas are good to clear out enemies, or even try and get a confirmed boss kill.
I would say that's a pretty good spot. I don't think they're downright oppressive. I think having a second health bar is hard to deal with, but it's consistent, unlike Zamasu. Zamasu,
Yeah.
I think, is just unfair when it comes to what triggers it.
Not
And
to mention,
yeah.
there were certain times that you're having trouble with the Gamma. Do you remember that when
Yeah.
you were facing one of the Gamma players?
Mhm.
You were having trouble.
Yeah, it definitely
Dude, I
makes
can't
sense.
help you.
Yeah, the fact that you could be so close to kill him is like, oh wait, that's the wrong Gamma. They could just get their health
Yeah.
bar, their other health bar again by recalling. That's that's something. That's something. All right. Okay, I agree with you. A tier, middle of A tier. That seems pretty appropriate. Then we got Baby over here. Now, Baby, according to Red Max, is the worst tank in the game, and he kind of is when he's by himself. When he's by himself, it's hard for this guy to survive. It really is.
The amount of times Mark and I tried to kill this disgraceful child, he gets away with it.
And it's not.
You're
It's
probably gonna end up killing his host before you kill him.
yeah. He. If you corner Baby, George, we could kill Baby by himself. But it's the moment that Baby is able to slip into a different character's body, that's when he becomes actually annoying. Because a lot
Not
of
to
times that hitbox of his, in order to escape, you can't really gauge how far he's able to slip out. So you're like almost close to killing him. Yoink, he goes inside of a waifu's body, and you're like, no, I was about to kill you. And so that's the only thing I think is annoying about Baby. But Baby on his own, he's not that great. He has that screaming ultimate, the AoE is super explosive wave, and that kind of can be annoying. But it's nothing bad compared to Cells, which we'll get to. But
Well, here's the thing about
He's not
this,
doing
uh,
his tank job. He's more like using other people as the tank.
No. I'm not talking about his tank job. I'm talking about his ultimate. His ultimate is powerful because here's the thing. His AoE ability can literally give himself extra shield if amount of enemy or bosses is right next to him.
Someone's knocking.
ooh,
I
yeah,
know.
oh, looks like he's dipping out. But yeah, so Baby is very he's very what do you call it? Situational dependent when it comes to how good he does. If you have a really bad teammate with you, no matter what you do, you're probably going to die along with him. But that goes for any team setup. Just by himself, Baby is just easy to deal with. Only hard when he is with a competent ally that will always bail him out, and then they become the tank. And then you have situations where you waste all that time doing damage to him, and then he just gets out for free, heals, and then comes back, and you have to start all over again. That's the only thing that's really annoying. I put him back, I believe, on the bottom tier for that. I after fighting against him more and seeing where he is, I'm gonna have to say, in terms like a tank, because of how inconsistent this guy can be, I have to put him at the end of B tier. Just because it all comes down to where you are at any given time, and his options can either be extended or limited depending on that. And that doesn't make him very safe to use, especially if you're going like singles. But or if you get picked off, like let's say they kill your ally, you have nowhere to run at that point. So now you're screwed, and now they're all going to come after you. People like Vegeta and Caulifla, they do way better at tanking than this guy does, and he is a so there's that to be said. All right, now this guy, no surprise, we did this last time, and I still stand by my word here. Oob is
Red saw during our match.
Oh.
He saw
Oob is
Oob.
the ultimate killer in this game. We have people like it, which we'll get to, but Oob, he is the ultimate 1v4
You
character.
can die just by standing next to him.
Yeah.
Collateral.
Oof. I've had a situation where I was defending base. The dude just breathed on me, and I went from 100 to 0 health. I got one shot.
Yep.
This guy's tornado ability, along with snowball and all that, is way too darn good. He is very powerful. He can start popping off early in the game, and then he becomes the character that everyone needs to kill quickly, or else he will just become unstoppable and unkillable. Oob is one of those characters that will do one-shot damage with a full green card set. That is insane.
Yeah.
He is just that broken of a character. I hope they nerf this guy in season 4 because that tornado ability of his is
Return
just
him
too
to his
good.
former mustiness.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
back to being mid. Go back to being mid, Boopy, because I just like, wow. And then of course, compliment him with any of the support characters we have in A tier, and he makes his job way easier. He's good with his range. He's good with his supers. His ult is fairly strong. He can boss secure. He can team wipe secure. He is like the every DPS character in the game. There's no character other than maybe one that might come very close to this guy in just terms of like killing potential. But so far right now for season 3, he is that darn good. He does too much damage. So yeah, there's that. All right. Oh, this is only good. My main for a technical, Frieza. Frieza has hit a lot of roadblocks from his season 1 and season 2 days, mainly because you got characters that can actually catch him. His claim to fame was just how fast this guy was, and how Zarbando was a really good boss killer. Now, yes, there is many situations where you can have a Zarbon and into Death Ball a confirmed kill, but there are many characters that can just deal with Zarbon and Frieza at the same time, and then you just are out of Frieza for 15 seconds, and that's it. You lost your viability. Frieza can't really tank. Well. He can get yo-yoed from half the map. You know from who? He can get yo-yoed from half the map just because Gohan looks at him the wrong way. And once you catch him off guard, it's hard for him to actually escape. Newer characters just have a field day with him. He can still boss secure, but you're really banking on the fact that other people don't know what the boss secure looks like. And he can't boss secure against Jackie Chun, however you want to pronounce it. Jackie Chun's ability to move away and teleport keeps Frieza from doing what he does best, which is taking care of stationary bosses. And guess what? Even if you do say, screw this, Zarbon, attack all the clones, Zarbon will die. He will die because he keeps shooting the nearest Jackie Chun clone next to him. And then you're just out of Zarbon. So, Frieza was good for what the game was starting out with. I think he's fallen off considerably because they keep nerfing Zarbon because they knew how Zarbon's rapid fire was. And Frieza could do some decent damage, but there are just better characters that can deal with him now and shut him down consistently. Even his Death Ball, as big as a range as it is, people can tank that. And it's really sad to see that coming from Frieza, because Frieza was my favorite tech character to play as. I probably going to have to find a better tech character than Frieza very, very soon, because my goodness, Frieza is just
I hear about
he has it rough. Better not be Videl.
Not to mention,
I don't want Videl being a tech.
Not to mention he's barely showing on all the other matches. He's barely showing.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You see a Frieza matchup, you're like, oh, good, thank you. It's a Frieza matchup. You're not as threatened by seeing him anymore because he can be dealt with easily now. So with that being said, I'm probably gonna have to do something I never thought I'd do. I'd have to put him above Bojack. Between the two here, I think he's better than Bojack, but he's still low tier. I would definitely say on that end. Too many characters that can deal with him. All right.
All right, where in A tier is he going?
Woo!
You already know he's going in A tier.
I would say A tier here. They nerfed him, and then they buff him, and then they keep nerfing him, and they keep buffing him. It's like they're hoping one day no one pays attention to the patch notes, and then Goku can just one shot again. Goku, it has to be top of A tier. He has instant transmission, even though they nerfed how many times you could do it. He has a beam. He has Dragon Fist. He is probably as fair as he's ever been, but he is still very, very powerful. I think, George, you can agree with me on that. Goku, in the hands of a good player, he can boss secure, he can defend towers, he can teleport to the enemy's side to go snipe the Dragon Ball. In a situation where you have both towers all destroyed, both sides, all their towers destroyed, Goku is just going to teleport right to the enemy Dragon Ball, and he can win the game that way. It is.
Yeah.
It happens way more often than you think.
The only downside of this, Goku can actually like get off his what's it called, his skills, his Kamehameha and stuff. But the part is he'll leave himself vulnerable because if he already used one of his skills early on, that completely makes him
Only in the early game. He turns very fast in the late game.
Yeah, but there's also there are certain times that I've seen so many Super Saiyan 3 Gokus are fumbling with the Kamehameha wave. Mostly when they try to like secure a kill.
Well, then those are just bad Gokus.
Yeah, the same could be
Yeah.
said for anybody on the A tier list. If they screw up a move or an input, yeah, that's obviously going to cost you. But when you got someone that's locked in, that's not going to happen. So
There's also the increase his cooldown, specifically his instant transmission. It was like a 10 seconds to a 20 seconds now.
gotta love seeing that.
Okay.
I would just hope they disable the instant transmission eventually.
I mean, you can disable it. I mean, you can disable it if somebody can do it.
We removed Goku's instant transmission. It was too good. I know they're not going to do that, but it is such a
I
hacksy
mean, it
ability.
didn't break the game. When it came into the game, it was just one shot after one shot because instant Kamehameha. It wasn't even the fact of getting to the Dragon Ball. It was just the fact that, oh, you're going back to your tower to heal. Suddenly, instant Kamehameha, boom, and it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, he literally came from
Them
nowhere.
removing the ability to instant transmission would be them admitting they made a mistake.
Exactly. So they have to nerf it. It's still annoying. The fact that that's the most unique move from Goku's set, from any Goku set. Yeah, the Spirit Bomb's fine, Dragon Fist is fine. It's like, yeah, we got Blast and we got Fist, but that honestly seems far more like a good technical move. But to give it to a DPS, and especially like you said, he can snowball out of control, that's a lit fuse. It's already a lit fuse.
At least you can't
like,
do it
oh, boy.
into the bases anymore.
Oh, you
Remember when
can.
that was a thing?
You can still do that.
Keep
Yeah.
attack?
You can still attack, yeah, after he teleports, yeah.
Oh, I thought I
You-
meant like he teleports right on top of you.
Oh yeah, they spaced
While
him a
you're
little
away.
bit. That still doesn't mean anything. It just spaces him a little bit away from the opponent, but that's still gonna catch you off guard. You're running away from another person, right? Let's say Oob doesn't kill you. You run away to base at like 10% health, and then the Oob's like, "Hey Goku, it'd be really bad right now for that guy." Goku's like, "I got this, man." Boom.
Okay,
that's
did you know?
Yeah, Goku, did you know that guy's low? You should probably use instant transmission. So it's like,
Thanks, Popo.
so there's a lot of situations where like Goku is just superior as a DPS compared to these other guys, and he's got that mobility. That instant transmission is his best mobility, and I'm not gonna loop much of what we said last tier list. Still rings true, but he's just not as broken as he used to be. Or his damage value was just too cracked. He did way more damage back then. Just we all have to admit that he did way more damage back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aggressive would be an understatement.
And now we're talking about this character.
Okay, hits a hit. As I'm gonna. We haven't seen many broken hit players because I think they've gone up to SS rank. But like these guys, screw these hit players, and I say that in like a very competitive way. I don't mean it to you personally, but hit as
He's a
a
better Krillin. That's what he is.
Screw these hit players.
He's a Krillin with spacing out abilities. It almost seems like Krillin with instant transmission, honestly, but a weakened, jankier form.
hit. I don't know how his vanish thing works, but man, you can't kill hit. You can't see hit, but hit always knows where you're at. And when you're by yourself running away, he will kill you. Especially if he has snowball on, he will kill you in the shadows. And then when you're dead, move on to the tower. He always has enough supers for a tower. What?
Not to mention he's very sneaky when he's trying to attack one of our towers.
Yeah. For some odd reason, he will just be in the battle with everybody, attacking the boss, and then the next second he's capping a tower. It's like, how did you do that? I didn't see you move. How did that happen? Oh, look at that! Another tower's gone. Hit is just so toxic as a I won't say support, but he's a technical character that a lot of what he does.
He's technically is supporter.
He doesn't
Yeah.
do
He just happens.
He just happens. You're afraid every time you see him load in. That's the thing about him. Yeah. Well, it's
I'm gonna say it right now. I think this. He's like a technical attacker. He just plans to get there and just trying to distract you for a bit, and just leave.
Well, yes,
just
that's why it's called the technical.
yeah. And the
his
sad thing
landing ability
is,
a lot like Krillin, but yeah, he's far more aggressive than Krillin is.
And he
Krillin's all about
stuns.
controlling
Oh,
the field.
super aggressive.
he
All about
stuns.
literally. Yeah, that's the point. He stuns you because again, when you're blind, you hit the A, you can't hit anything because you can't see it. You can't hit what you can't see.
Yeah.
You can use supers and some supers.
Well,
Yeah, that's
some
your only
some
hope. Like if you're
super-
rolling with your AoE or you're throwing a death ball from your various 5 DPSs or Frieza, then yeah, fine. Throw that and try to run away. But point is, he's already there. Even if you get out of range, you think, haha, I finally... And then he has a sniper shot. Is one of his first learned beginning techniques. He has a sniper shot. It's like, ow!
Yeah.
It's not impossible to get out of, but it's so unpredictable where he's going to be that quite honestly, you are a mouse trapped in a cage. You're a fish in a bucket. You're already there.
Every
To
time
get
I
out-
see hit load up again and on the enemy side, I know I'm gonna have a bad time because it's you have to have someone always at base, or else he's just going to max Genshin. Yeah, it's there's a reason why once they buffed him in this season, he just became a very, very toxic support technical character. I hope they nerf his ability along with Oob, just because it's really, really mean. Then let's move on to Bardock. I know I kept this picture, but this is Bardock. Super Saiyan Bardock transformation. Okay,
Where?
immediately right there. He's better than Zamasu. He's better than
He is
Zamasu.
going to push you out of the way like a sumo.
He
With a
pushes you.
projectile.
He pushes you. He can take on 3
He
people
pulls
at
you.
once. He's
He
Rildo.
literally implies wrath. He's essentially a tank version of Ultimate Gohan.
he has a chaser ability where he ignores all damage and can pursue whoever he wants, and will guarantee essentially do damage to you. He can survive ults. He can survive taking everyone's supers at once. You literally have to dedicate like maybe 15 seconds of pure melee damage against this guy in order to put him down. And guess what? Hit just took your tower. so like Bardock is what I said in the scrap part. He is a DPS disguised as a tank because he is doing too much damage for somebody that is supposed to be taking the damage.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, boom.
Guess you gotta do it all over again.
And so he's better than
Yeah.
Zamasu because Zamasu, you can see the health bar drain. Bardock, it's hard to even do that in a scenario where he's 3v1ing people. And like Explode said, you have Boo backing him up. You have somebody like Baby also backing him up. He is going to be unkillable. And what more can I say? I think in terms of season 3's givings, I think he's the best character to have come out from season 3, hands down. He is from between Vegito
yes.
and Kefla. He is the character that you have to pay attention to the most. And like the story that I will say one more time because it was in the scrapped one. He's actually able to bypass Khalifa's barrier. He can push Khalifa, who has her barrier up. It does not count.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Also,
It
Vegeta's
seems like the only way to make...
Hold on, I am gonna say this right now. There is a downside for Bardock. A few of them of Bardocks. It's hard to escape with them because if you're getting surrounded, if you're trying
Okay,
to
but if you're trying to escape, then why are you playing Bardock?
Yeah, you're a tank.
No,
You're
no, no,
supposed to die.
I know,
Remember,
but
he's a
I
DPS
know,
disguised as a tank. He's meant to attack. Yeah, if he's
I know,
on full on
but I'm
retreat, it's like, oh yeah, get him. But here's
Like,
the
he
thing:
would have to
most
be
guys wouldn't.
extremely bad as Bardock to need to run.
true.
One
But
too many
I'm saying
bad
that there-
decisions.
I'm saying that
Let's hear
there is
George out.
certain times
He
that
does have a
Bardock-
point.
I am saying that there is a few times that Bardock players will get surrounded because you saw how it happens, Mark. When if one character is being surrounded by 4, it's gonna be hard to deal with that. If Bardock's out, the other players will have trouble to like.
Yeah, but 2 of
Pulling
those
the line.
people are gonna die with him.
Yeah, but I'm saying look, I'm gonna say this like right now. Like the amount of times Mark is trying to like
If you
survive.
need all 4 players to do that to him, then you're losing a tower.
No,
I'm just saying, you're
You're right,
ignoring the
but
rest
you're
of the
also
technical
wrong.
aspects, he is saying that the fact that it takes 4 people to do so, that's what's making it impressive. But the fact is, yes, he can be ganged up on. That is a weakness, but I will say to amend on that, that's not too much different than any other character, so long as they can use some of their technicals right. But since Bardock is slow at retreating, yes. Although Exposed Point still holds a bit of valid too in a bigger picture. But from a solitary point of view, yeah.
The
We're
fact
just
that
talking about how it's my commitment to go against it.
the fact that you need to have so many people to actually stop Bardock is impressive for not only a tank, but the fact that he's able to kill a couple people before he goes down is also scary. You're also distracting people by just existing and having them all put their attention there. You're essentially invoking real life aggro against you as Bardock, because everyone's stopping whatever they're doing to go deal with Bardock, and that leaves your allies able to pick towers or killing bosses while that happens. And so that's the point I believe Explodes is also making, is that, yeah, you're right, George, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, if Bardock dies, oh well, you're coming back in 15 seconds. You did your job. You did your job distracting, and it's hard to actually have a situation where you show up and get one shot dead. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I'm also gonna say this right now. Early game, he's using divine cards, even though the divine cards are not even active yet.
Which makes him even more scary. So it's
that's terrifying, because he saw the amount of times I keep pushing the enemy away, you have more chances to kill, while I just keep pushing the other one away. And the amount of times that you're almost about to kill them, but they manage to escape. I just come with his other skill, just go all the way and just hit him from behind.
Well, I think we said everything we could about this guy. He's a menace to society, and he must be put down. So, all right. Explode's favorite character here in terms of his viability. He has a very annoying ping ability, I will admit. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. It's like
the amount of times.
It's always him that does that, except for maybe Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but he's usually actually trying to be helpful when he does that.
Yeah. The only good thing I see about this guy, the only good thing I see about Gotenks is his Super Ghost Kamikaze Mines. Everything like the Galactic Donuts, it's annoying, but it's not like you get sucked in by it and you're going to die. He's very much somebody that can kill you in the right spots, but I wouldn't say he's on the level of somebody like Krillin and Boo. I think possibly he's probably better than Gohan because he has some offensive tools, but he's not completely he's not a character that I'm going to see when I load up and say, okay, we're going to have to deal with Gotenks. It's like, okay, Gotenks is there. He has his kit. I can deal with it. Sometimes you can run away from the ghost kamikazes. You can destroy the kamikazes. You can see them just planted there and essentially just say, okay, guess I'm not walking there. Unlike Krillin's, where his are invisible. So, yeah, I would definitely say Gotenks, for as annoying as he is, he's as a character. I don't find him too hard to deal with. I think he is pretty mid, or like the top of mid tier, before he becomes actually like really good. I don't think I hear anybody complaining on that front. All right.
Temporarily lost George.
Oh darn. Okay. Well, Android 17. This is another guy that you put him right next to a really good unit. He is going to be extremely annoying. He can give people temporary health. He can stop you from transforming. So he's like the anti-Gale. Oh,
sorry, I had an important call. My bad.
All good, all good. 17 is just a character I think that is heavily character dependent, but I also think that he can keep himself alive. I wouldn't say he's killing people. I don't think 17 is known to be a killer. I think he's there to just keep people alive and sabotage other people's transformations when it happens. Let me remind everybody,
he does bring out an edge with his barrier ability, just because it's literally extra HP. It's like, oh, well, if you're going up in a straight up brawl, it's like, oh no, both sides are weak. Then he comes in with his little XHP boost, and all of a sudden the other team goes, F.
Yeah.
And then they just get blasted.
I will say, I think...
Yeah,
oh, good.
No, you're good. You're good. Just because after he does that, then he throws his soccer ball energy balls, and then it's like, oh, by the way, yeah, even more for you. Have a nice day.
I will say he's probably slightly better than Boo because his extra health healing effect is affects himself and everybody in his zone. So everybody essentially can become you put him next to Bardock in whatever team he's in, and he's just going to be.
Plus his ultimate is just Plus his ultimate is essentially just that same ability. It does give him extra HP, but it also blows people away. It's not oppressive because it's not so destructive. It's mostly a pushback. It does do damage, but it's not a one hit.
Yeah, and he has something that Boo doesn't have. It's like he can actually just do some extra stuff beyond healing. What's up?
You can disable healings. That's the thing. Boo, 17 can disable healings.
Yeah, there you go. So that even makes it even better. He's a counter to Boo.
and better
one though.
Including dealing with players who are trying to transform they're trying to do a mid transformation.
Yeah, you could just constantly troll somebody while they're just trying to mash transformation, and you're like, nope. It is funny when that goes through. All right, after that we have Topo. Topo is a character I put on underutilized last time we did this tier list, but I'm gonna put the record straight. This guy's still really good. I will say his counter snap ability still does insane damage. Even against somebody like Kefla. Kefla can try to get her licks in, but this guy will slap back. He'll clap back. He will. If he doesn't kill you, that residual damage still has aged really good, and it will kill you. Because you're not being.
What you should have said is he clap back, snap backs. Best of all, he gives you heart attacks.
Yeah, heart attack, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say just in terms of looking at him from where he is now compared to everybody else, he can give Goku a run for his money, but I think he's probably just better in terms of the damage. He has a boss secure, he has projectile attacks, he has the counter move. He's a slow guy, but because he has the counter move, I think it makes up for it. So that way you're not. The enemy has to not be careless by just dumping as much tax on him as possible. And yeah, he has a pretty good amount of defense on him as well. So I would say he's really good.
I have to say you can work around him. Like for example, the destructive thing, you can you just have to make sure not to attack him because that thing is the only way to activate his thing to attack you. Just try not to attack him. Otherwise, I think the ball destruction will do an effect on you.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is the best viable strategy, is not to attack him when he does the counter stance. The only problem is you're letting his ally damage you in its place, or you're forced to run away, and then he secure the spot that they're trying to take over. So it's a win-win. He makes you stop, or he's going to hurt you. So that's just where it's at.
Not to mention, he's immune to anything if something was trying to attack him. Gohan's JoJo ability, his burst key, Bardock's pushing ability, even 17's what's it called, his ultimate. That thing can be actually blocked.
Yeah.
Even Kill's berserk form is not enough to beat Tobo's thing. And here's the thing: the more damage he's taking, the ball of destruction will do the massive damage what you've been giving to him.
Yeah, and you will die. You will die. You will die as a result of it.
You will completely die.
All right.
You just attack him.
Moving on to Cell. Yeah, this is still Cell, the bear hugger. Now, he is not doing much bear hugging these days, but I've noticed the meta shift for this guy has been barrier over bosses. That still rings true, even after we scrapped the last list that we did. Very good Cell players will find themselves next to Ribrianne or Jocko, and when the boss is at low health, he will unleash his ult, which is his perfect barrier, meaning that no matter what you do, it will not do damage, but his allies will be the one doing damage, and that's essentially a boss secure without actually being a boss secure. Mm-hmm. So it's annoying to deal with, yes, but I will say he is not invincible. I will say he's not invincible, but he only becomes really good when he's perfect. I think that's rang true since he started in the game.
Least tanky is tank, but once he goes perfect, it's like, oh no. He just cranked it from 1 to 100 there.
I'm pretty sure the one who's the least tank is Baby. But, yeah. Yeah, Baby's like the least distinct. That's one he has to get inside somebody
Imperfect
shorter.
Cell is honestly a bit of a paper tiger, but yeah, once he does transform, I mean, even Cooler has a bit more of his depth there than Imperfect Cell. So
And-
that can honestly be said for a lot of people that do transform. It's like, yeah, but Cooler is a bit more sturdy.
With Cell, I think he safely would probably be. Where would I put him in terms of like? I think he's better than Caulifla once he starts having because Caulifla's ultimate it sucks. It still sucks, but at least Cell's ultimate has
until they
use.
update Cell's move, and then it'll break the game. His Cell games will involve more than 2 people, so they can drag in people from whenever.
I will say probably in terms of where his placement, he'd probably be the middle of A tier. I wholeheartedly think that he is very good, but I wouldn't say he's like extremely good. His ability to outlast people in his perfect state is felt, and the fact that he's able to again do that perfect barrier, I think is what keeps him very, very viable as an A tier. But I don't think he's broken. He could still be killed. He's not Zamasu tier. he's not Bardock tier in terms of tanks. I think if you put Bardock versus Cell, even in Cell's perfect form, Bardock still comes out on top. Like if you pit both of them together. All right. This is the first character from season 3. Actually, you know what? We'll save those for last. Let's go for Kale here. Kale. We fought some pretty good Kale characters.
Favorite girl.
Yeah, this is my main, my first DPS main. George. Now we had this conversation. Confirm the kill, George. Confirm the kill. Anyway, Kale pretty much is still where she is. I think Kale, she can get run over, especially with these characters with the mobility abilities. You know, you see characters on the very top of S and the very top of A tier. What makes them very good is either they got mobility or they got tricks up their sleeves that allow them to survive a huge amount of like group attacks and such. Kale over here, once she runs out of her tools, she's just ready to be killed. She has to surrender. If you put her in a proper situation where all she's doing is zoning, she can easily kill people in the top tier, except if you're Bardock. She can deal with Oop players if she's able to have some distance again away from them. An Oop player, however, if they manage to cut the distance between them and where Kale is, she will die. And that's the problem with this character, is that all of her moves require her to be 10,000 miles away for her to actually do some decent damage. Plus, she needs to land them. If she lands them in a group of everyone fighting each other in the war, she's going to rack up a lot of kills. And then that's going to help your team get a lot of team wipes because of that. She's very good at everyone's distracted. Let me just light a nuke over here and hope that it hits everybody. And whoever are still around, you use laser gun to pick them off. And that's literally her entire job. You do not want her in the thick of it. If she's in the thick of it, you're going to die. That is just Kale 101. And it's hard for me to gauge her because in the previous tier list for season 2, I put her at, she gets rolled in terms of like C tier. But since I made that tier list, I've gotten way better at playing Kale and been able to kind of circumvent that. And I would say just in general, in terms of like a character matching her up, I'm going to say safely, I think she's at the top of mid, because the only thing that if they gave her the ability to have more mobility to evade, she would be really, really good. And I would say she'd probably be an A tier. But she's fairly stationary. A lot of her moves require her to be in one spot and kind of track where the enemies are. Her biggest problem is that when you got enemies that are just vanishing everywhere, jumping up and down, kicking up and down, and you're like, I don't know where to aim. So you have to make sure that your allies are setting your attack up. It's like you got Bardock, he's sucking in people. Okay, you land a shot. Then now you know exactly where the shot's going to go, and then you can get some benefit. Very much character buddy based for Kale. If you don't have a good buddy or you're constantly getting separated by the enemy, she's not going to get much use. And her Berserker, I will remind everybody, is not a boss kill. It is mainly used to clean up people who are about to die, and she could just pursue them. Never use her ult to try to take on someone at full health. You will most likely lose because they are either going to outdamage you or they're going to call their buddies, and their buddies are going to dump everything against you, and you're not immune. So I would say safely she's at the top of mid tier for that very reason. Oh, right.
Yeah.
We got Yo-Yo Gohan. Originally I had put him here. I think he's better than Goku, just in terms of annoyance. If you have,
Give it a
Yeah.
week, you'll change your mind again.
yeah, I'll probably change my mind again. But like this Gohan, I don't think
When they change him up and they start making him more annoying than Hit, then all of a sudden it'll be Gohan players that'll be inundating your plays, and it's like, okay, Gohan's annoying again.
Yeah. The one thing I've noticed with Gohan is that I don't think it's been possible for people to spam his keep away or his yo-yo as often as he used to when he first released. Gohan, I think they reduced the time for your ability to do that. Right, George? Did they reduce they increase the time between cooldowns?
Yeah, and I'm pretty, and yeah, they did increase the timer of Gohan.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. So yeah, it's
He's still annoying.
he's still annoying. That yo-yo ability is so darn impressive. Imagine healing in your God of Destruction at 10% health, and he just says, "Nah," and now you're dead.
He
Pulls
also
you
does
out.
that mechanic too.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
damage
damn.
and pulls you. It is so darn annoying. Everything I said in season 2, just copy and paste it here, and we could just move on because it not as powerful as it used to be, but he's still darn annoying. On a 1v1 level, he's going to outmaneuver you and has more mobility options just outright. All right, the last one from the previous season, we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I'm gonna say his barrier is probably the only thing that keeps him viable. He has that kick that can push you in the walls. I get that. He has Final Shine that can push you. I don't think he is as cracked as he once was, but he still puts up a good fight. I still think he puts up a good fight. I don't think he's mid. I think George, I know you play as 4 Vegeta very often. Where would you put him in A tier? Where would you put him in A tier?
I'll say he's right next. He's between Topo and 17 and 18
Topo and A tier?
because because the kick stunned them. His other skill just pulls them everybody together, and his Final Shine is really good, mainly to push everybody away, but also confirming boss skills as someone's trying to
That is
finish
true.
the job.
Yeah. Vegeta, the only problem with Vegeta is that his barrier does not protect him against physical based attacks like Kale's in terms like a super. George, confirm to me, is Android 18's Heartbreaker, can that pierce through Vegeta's barrier?
No, it cannot.
Darn it. You would think that would be the case since Kale can do that. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird why that
Yeah.
isn't the thing that she can do.
Yeah, she can do that, but for some reason 18 can't. I tried it at one time on one of the Vegeta, one of the 4 Vegetas, and I can confirm that she cannot pass through Vegeta's barrier. That's for sure.
What also makes Vegeta really good is he has mobility in the form of super. What's that? He's about to die. A quick vanish to the side and then kick for extra range to get out of there. You're going to have an advantage in terms of either pursuing or running away. Yeah, that is just the truth with Vegeta. Plus, he has the haters gonna hate victory animation that they just gave him, which I think about that right now mainly because that is just how it is when you get that MVP and he's like, yeah, I killed you. Haters gonna hate. Dun, 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 dun. Just like Bardock's. Okay, now we got the most recent characters. I know we did Bardock earlier. My apologies. I just realized that now. Let's deal with Broly. Broly, I will definitely say Broly is S tier. Just in general, he can kill you every single time with that roar ability. He can do the hopscotch. You're dead. What's that? You didn't die from the hopscotch? Roar into another hopscotch. Now you actually are dead. What's that? A boss is just to show it up? Well, Broly breathes and he just essentially one-shots the boss. Comes in, and like I said in the previous one, he just yells out, "Where's the lamb sauce?" It's like, this guy is not only powerful, but he can take a couple hits before he goes down. I wouldn't say he's infallible, like he won't take damage like Bardock, but he is just so darn powerful that anytime a boss shows up and you're not there within the first 10 seconds, he's probably going to take it from you. And his ult is just damage for free. He moves during it and does so much damage, and you're forced to step away from him during that time. You need an ultimate that will shoot him. That's literally it. You need an ultimate to shoot him from a safe distance
Or
if you want to counter that. Oh yeah, like that too. But in a lot of scenarios, you're not capable of doing that, because when he shows up, you're now going from I gotta kill the boss to I gotta get away. And then guess what? When he's doing that,
when you're away, then
Yeah.
boom, you'll take up the boss.
if he don't take it, he's forcing you away, and his allies will be there to take it if he doesn't get to finish the job himself. So it's very much a good pressure tool to keep your ally or your enemies away from where you don't want them to be from. Same thing with towers. He just runs up, yells out loud, and boom, team wipe. It is. I don't know if they need to reduce the amount of damage his ultimate does in order to make him fair, but I think in terms of that, he's just too darn good damage value wise. I guess they really wanted him to feel like Broly, but he is definitely a character you want to watch out for.
Yeah, but there's also certain Broly's do have troubles like escaping in the battle, because that roar is the only way to reduce their cooldowns by using the freaking jump thing to get them out of there. Even with that, I'm pretty sure with characters whose range attacks can still hurt him, even though he's doing the jump, you can still hurt him.
I agree. I agree with that, but I think in a lot of scenarios you'll end up dying to Broly first before you end up having that situation. That's just from experience, especially as somebody that ends up trying to hunt characters down. Before you know it, he hits you once, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm almost either gonna die or I'm at 50% health." And then he roars and chases you, and then you see that age-old problem where the enemy is at 1% health and they're running away. And you're like, "I was so close! That was so close! That Broly is still alive."
Yeah.
Broly is only, I think, an S tier just because he is insane when it comes to damage. I wouldn't say he's hard to kill like Zamasu, but he does so much damage that he doesn't have to care about a character like Zamasu, but he does have to care about a character like Bardock. That's why I have him in between here. All right, we got over here Super Vegito. I'm gonna say this right now. I think he's fair and balanced. He has a lot of AOE attacks that are there to chip people out in a vacuum, but he's not obnoxious. I think this character is very, very well balanced, and I would say he's probably there. I think just in general, most of his attacks are very spread out. And yeah, he can be damaging, and he has that ability to transform and guarantee a level up higher. But I think Super Saiyan 3 Goku just slightly better, and I think Gohan just way more smarmy than that to actually be better than Vegito. Vegito has powerful attacks, yes, but he doesn't have anything I think is game breaking. I don't know if you have much experience with that, or you agree completely with that. I have nothing. Yeah,
I have nothing either. I have not touched Vegito that much often. The only character I've been using a bit more was Oob, Bardock, and mostly Hit or Boo. That's the only thing I've been experiencing more. But yeah, Vegito, he's mostly with crowd control. He's literally a crowd control character, just focusing on the like confirming some stuff. Like for example, the NPCs, just literally trying to confirm to no one gets all the XP. Which that's the thing we keep getting bumped into it. A lot of times the enemies just keep stealing out the XP.
Well said. And that will get us to our last character. Now, hold your breath, George. Hold your breath.
I am surprised you decided to put that on. You decided to get that image.
Oop. That was me.
Oh.
I'm gonna put Kefla right below Vegito and right in between Vegito and the Lorax, mainly because she is very fragile. Now I'm gonna go in a little mini rant here. Kefla is powerful, probably one of the strongest characters in the game. A lot of it comes down to her multi-attack, or her ability to attack more than one characters. Now, the technique, quote unquote, that I've been finding myself do very often, which has like a, I would say 80% accuracy, like very useful, is that you attack the first two hordes of enemies on the defense section of the map. You take a bite of the third section's enemies, and you leave your tank boy to clean up the rest because you'll still get credit for those XP. Well, after you ignore that, you go straight to the enemy side and steal their Cell Junior, or you get some damage off them because they're not expecting you there so soon. You use Hair Whip, which is her AOE her AOE super, which allows her to go really, really fast, allows her to do way more damage with multi-attacking. And she essentially is able to just have full range over the enemy. She's also able to convert that into her Knuckle Sandwich ability, which when she hits somebody once, she activates this thing called Hard Knuckled Fight, where she can just immediately, without charging, throw the Knuckle Sandwich attack and essentially catch people off guard there, which it does insane amount of damage, by the way. It does good damage. By the time that the enemy tries chasing Kefla, I try to run back, and look at that. I got them down to 70% health, and my tank is shown up already with his XP, ready to go kill those guys. And then I'm just throwing snowballs from a distance, and they're like, wait a minute, let's take out the tank. Oh, wait a minute, Kefla's hurting both of us at the same time. So Kefla is not only just doing 1 damage to one person, she's doing it to 2 people, which now both of them are attacking my tank. My tank is taking almost no damage, and he's attacking them. So guess what? One of 2 things are going to happen. We're going to kill both of them, or they're going to be forced to run away, and then we secure the middle. That is how you play Kefla.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that I helped you rethink about the cards, stuff thing.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that.
Yeah, Kefla's problem is that she's too fragile. Once you catch up to her, no matter who the character is, she will die in either 1 or 2 shots. Unfortunately. Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
Even with the divine cards, the defense step, you were dying so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started to recommend using the instant transmission,
yeah,
you were starting to survive more. I'm sorry, if you still had that card, the step up card, I think she will probably go below where 17 no, not 17, where 18 and Vegeta are.
Yeah,
I feel like if you still kept that card, I think Kefla would have go down a bit down.
I think Kefla she's a high risk, high reward character. I would see a world where probably next season they buff up her health. She needs a little bit more health. I think she's suffering from the problem that 18 had in the last season, where when she gets touched once, it's game over for her. But she does so much damage that I feel like the devs were afraid that she would be unstoppable. But through practice and seeing just how things are, you don't want to be playing as a character that is getting up close and personal. You are very, I think out of every character here that's a DPS, you are very buddy dependent if this character is going to do good or not. If your buddy dies, don't pursue unless they're at no health. She needs to run. There is no reason for you to stay around. You cannot defend yourself. They're probably going to chase you if you don't have the hair whip active at the time. It's not a good option. Whereas on the flip coin, you could be in matches where you are just unstoppable because you're doing so many multi-attack hits. You either are killing the enemy or your ally is cleaning up what you can't kill. Her ultimate, my goodness, probably one of the best ultimates in the game. That massive, it is a boss kill. Is a boss killer. It can be, you can vanish with it. You can move with it. You can turn it around like Super Saiyan 3 Goku's Kamehameha and essentially sweep. In the right scenario, which happens, I want to say probably 70% of the time, you are going to be able to team wipe many people or get them so low that they have to run away. She is very powerful. Just the problem is that ultimate requires you to be up close and personal. So if you're not careful, you're probably going to die while it goes off or before the animation goes through, and you're probably going to lose your advantage at that point. Kefla, her biggest problem is that she cannot take damage, and if she is consistently getting killed off, she's going to fall behind in terms of level ups, and you're going to be struggling to reaffirm your foothold again. That is the big problem with her, which is why I think Vegito inherently is just better because Vegito can tank while doing damage. Super Saiyan 3 Goku can outzone her. He can get closer and actually stop her from running away. Gohan can yo-yo her. Hit can kill her. Broly can kill her. Zamasu can essentially stall her out. Bardock, he's Bardock. Oob, one shot. that is yeah. Yeah, and
the same thing.
And the only reason why she's slightly better than Topo at least is because her mobility is better than his. She can actually be eviscerated by Topo if she's not careful. She could throw a very powerful attack, and then Topo does his little counter. It's game over for her. so it's very much you are rewarded for fighting from the background all the time. There's no thing like Kale's Berserker where you have to get in for a very extended period of time. At least her ultimate is a beam. Mind you, you're not actually in the middle. So that's the only criticism I have with it. I think they'll probably buff her in season 4 and give her more health. I think that's all she really needs is more health, and therefore she can actually survive and play with the boys in the middle as opposed to being a zoner from the sidelines. I think I pretty much covered that, don't you think, George?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. Let's go ahead and review our list here. All the way at the very bottom of the dumps is Deborah at a D tier, at trash tier. We got low tier, which is a Frieza and Bojack. In a low tier, we have Baby, Trunks, Goku, Cooler, Vegeta, Kid Gohan, Gotenks, and the very top is Kale. And then for A tier, which is, I would say, top tier, we got Caulifla, Daima Goku, Piccolo, the Gammas, Krillin, Boo, Cell, 17 and 18, Vegeta, Topo, Kefla, Vegito, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Ultimate Gohan. And then for the toxic tier, the very top, S tier, we have Zamasu, Broly, Bardock, Hit, and Oob at the very top. And look at that. You could probably swap out one of them, and they make an entire team in Squadra. Look at that. You have your tank, you got your technical, and you got your 2 DPSs. Look at that. I just realized that right there. That is probably the best setup you're going to want to have for your team, is those 4 right there. Your 2 DPSs, your technical, and your tank. Wow.
I mean, the whole meta is all about Super Saiyan 3.
Ooh, got that Wendy's connection. Oh no, we lost
the whole meta. Things Trunks and Super Saiyan 4. Oh, I said the whole meta. I'm still here.
Oh, okay,
Hello?
okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold
You
on.
stabilized.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say the today's meta is all about Super Saiyan 4, 3, Hit, and Trunks.
Trunks?
Because you know how many people you know the rank players. Remember the rank players that we fought?
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for our tier list here, everybody. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in 3 months when hopefully Fidel shows up and is the best tank in the game.